Hello students, welcome to lecture number 3rd of our chemistry online classes. In last class we started with the cause of adsorption and we mentioned very clearly in one sentence, unbalanced or residual force of attractions present at the surface is the cause of adsorption. Then we looked into the thermodynamic parameters of this adsorption process and we come across delta H is negative because adsorption is exothermic process. Delta S is again negative because freedom of movement of molecules decreases during adsorption, and that's why entropy decreases. And as adsorption is a spontaneous process, delta G is negative. As adsorption proceeds, delta H becomes less and less negative and it becomes equalized to T delta S, making their magnitude equal and sign opposite. And that's why delta G becomes equal to 0 and state of equilibrium is attained. Then we talked about types of adsorption. We said that when gas is adsorbed on the surface of solid, there may be two main causes. One is it is due to weak van der Waals force of attraction. We call it as physical adsorption, physisorption, or it may be due to strong chemical bonds, which may be ionic or covalent. We call it as the chemical adsorption or chemisorption, also called as activated adsorption, because the chemical reaction has to take place, activation energy is needed. Then we talked about the characteristics of physical adsorption. The first one is lack of specificity. Any given solid surface can adsorb any gas. There is no particular preference for that solid surface to the particular gas because van der Waals forces are universal. Next is the nature of gas adsorb. Those gases which are easily liquefied, they have strong van der Waals force of attraction, they have higher critical temperature, and that's why they are adsorbed more readily. Sulfur dioxide, ammonia, HCl, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen, and hydrogen is the order. Then we talk about reversibility. Adsorption, physical adsorption is reversible, and solid plus gas reversibly gives solid slash gas plus heat, exothermic process. We can apply the Lichamtes principle, and when we said that we increase the pressure, it increases the extent of adsorption, and if we decrease the temperature, it increases the extent of adsorption. A common thing, increase the pressure, more molecules will adsorb, increase the temperature, desorption will take place. Then we talked about the surface area of adsorbent, and we said that when we increase that, the adsorption increases. Finely divided metals and the porous substances, they have the greater adsorbing capacity. And enthalpy of adsorption is very low because big van der Waals forces are involved, and it is 20 to 40 kilojoule per mole. So we discussed that. Now today we'll start with the characteristics of chemical adsorption. Characteristics of chemical adsorption. And we say that it is, first property is it is highly specific. Unlike physical adsorption, which is not specific, it is highly specific because adsorption will take place. Adsorption will occur only when there is possibility of chemical bond formation between adsorbate and adsorbing, because chemical reaction should occur, and chemical reaction occur if two substances has affinity and their product form is stable. There are certain criteria, we know that. So there should be a chemical bond formation between adsorbate and adsorbate, and then only there is possibility of chemical adsorption to takes place. So it is highly specific. So we can say that occurs only if there is possibility of chemical reaction between adsorbate. We know now what we mean by adsorbate, that which adsorbs, and adsorbate. For example, oxygen adsorb on metals due to oxide formation. Oxygen will adsorb only if there is possibility of oxide formation. Otherwise, it will not adsorb. That's why we mean by highly specific. Or hydrogen adsorb on transition metals, on the surface of transition metals, of course, due to hydride formation. So oxide formation and hydride formation should take place. Then only the chemical adsorption will occur. Otherwise, there is no possibility of chemical adsorption. Then in second case we say that reversibility. In physical adsorption we said that it is reverse. Here we should say that irreversibility, that is irreversible due to compound formation in chemical adsorption. Chemical adsorption is irreversible. Chemical adsorption is exothermic. Any adsorption is exothermic, physical as well as chemical. So it is very slow at low temperature. Why it is very slow at low temperature? Because higher activation energy is required. The adsorbent and adsorbate has to be activated, then only this adsorption will take place, and it is rapid, or speed will increase at high temperature. If you provide temperature, its speed will increase. Physical adsorption, or we call it as physisorption, at high temperature, if we supply the adsorbate and adsorbate sufficient activation energy, it may convert to chemisorption. And we can say that high pressure, if we increase the pressure, favors the chemisorption. So high pressure and high temperature is required for the chemical adsorption. Third, we say that surface area of adsorbent increases, extent of adsorption also increases. More and more surface area, more and more adsorption, because adsorption occurs on the surface. Increased surface area, more adsorption. Finely divided matter, porous substances. In those cases, we observe greater extent of adsorption. And then we say enthalpy of adsorption. is higher. In this case, it is 82 to 40 kilojoule per mole. Why? Because chemical bond formation takes place. And because of that, chemical bond formation is exothermic process. That's why enthalpy of adsorption is higher. So highly specific, irreversible, depends on surface area of adsorbent, and enthalpy of adsorption is higher. These are the four characteristics of chemical adsorption. Clearly we can compare them with physical adsorption. We'll see that there are some 8 differences between physical adsorption and chemical adsorption, which is most frequently asked question. Yesterday also I have told you. We'll prepare that now. If you understood this, all this concept I have written key points on the board. Just once read the textbook. If concept is clear, then not difficult to understand all these points. Understand and remember also, because we have to remember also. When we learn, when teacher explains, it seems to be very simple, but when you write yourself, you may find it difficult if you are not prepared in a particular way, and you know what we mean by that particular way. Practice, practice and practice after understanding. Now I have to see the difference between physisorption and chemisorption. The question can be asked for 2 to 3 marks, and they will mention in question how many differences you have to write. If they won't mention, for 1 mark you have to write 2 differences. That is, we can say, average you can remember that. So first is due to cause. I will write first these points, properties, and meanwhile you try to think what entries we should make here and here. It is due to, for example, it is due to weak van der Waals forces, physical adsorption. Chemical adsorption due to strong chemical bonds, like that. Then I will write specificity. Then third point, I will say regarding the reversibility, which is reversible and which is irreversible. Fourth is about the activation energy. EA means activation energy. Fifth is about enthalpy of adsorption. Sixth is about how many layers are formed in the adsorption. Seventh is about effect of temperature. One adsorption is favored by low temperature, another by high temperature. Which one is that? Eighth one is about the nature of gas which is adsorbed. And ninth one I will write here, which is common. Surface area increases. I will first complete this point. As surface area increases, physisorption increases, chemisorption also increases. So we can say this is similarity. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are differences. Yes, just comment on all these things. Just pause this video and try to complete these entries And when I complete, just verify. Due to physical adsorption, weak van der Waal forces. Of course, in the examination you have to write van der Waals forces. I am writing it short here. Due to strong chemical bond formation. Specificity, not specific, because van der Waals forces are universal. Highly specific, occurs only when there is possibility of chemical reaction. Reversible, we have applied the Chadley's principle and seen how it changes by changing the condition. Irreversible, because of compound formation. Activation energy is insignificant, not required, because no chemical reaction. Chemical reaction, so activation energy is significant. Enthalpy of adsorption is low, 20 to 40 kilojoule per mole. If you remember, they only mention the value, don't mention the wrong value. But it is better to remember, because sometimes you have to use this. It is high, activation energy, heat of adsorption is higher here, which is 82 to 40 kilojoule per mole. Layers, I will mention here layers at high pressure, multi-molecular, one after another layers are formed like this. This is solid surface, this is one layer is formed, another layer is also formed, multi-molecular, because van der Waals forces can operate at a longer distance. Of course, the force diminishes, it weakens as distance increases, but it can operate. So such thing, multi-molecular layer, is the property of physisorption. Chemical adsorption, unimolecular layer, because they have to be in contact. To form a chemical bond, the two substances should be in contact. Effect of temperature, we can say low temperature favors physical adsorption and high temperature favors the chemical adsorption. Why? Because of significant amount of activation energy is needed. Nature of gas, we can say easily liquefiable gases adsorbs more. Liquefiable gases, easily liquefiable gases adsorb more. And in chemisorption, gases which reacts with adsorbent are adsorbed. There should be reaction formation. If oxygen is adsorbing, there should be oxide formation. If hydrogen is adsorbing, there should be hydride formation. Then only they will adsorb. Here, easily liquefiable because they have the stronger van der Waals forces. As surface area increases, physisorption also increases, chemisorption also increases. That's why we say this is similarity. So if the question asks what are the characteristics of physical adsorption, you can write just this one. This you have to also use. You have to make sentences. If they ask only chemical adsorption, just write these points. Difference, all you have to make the sentences. I think you can make sentences. It is there in textbook, it is there in our printed notes also. Due to specificity, reversibility, activation energy, enthalpy of adsorption, how many layers are formed at high pressure, and effect of temperature and the nature of gas, like that. And this is the similarity. So very important question. not only theory point of view, in MCQs also they are using one property and they are making questions on it. So you should be able to solve this if you understand this clearly. I have tried to explain this. You also try to understand and practice. But don't miss this question. If you miss this question, definitely marks will be deducted in theory as well as MCQs, because there is possibility of distinguish between physical adsorption and chemical adsorption is the quite frequently asked question. You can just pause this video and complete this and practice this. Now the next part in the adsorption. Next part in the adsorption is that we should see if is there any mathematical relationship, because when we learn any concept and if that concept has mathematical background, then only its validity will increase, isn't it? That's why people learn science, because they can correlate things. So one mathematical relation in adsorption is very important for us, which is included in our syllabus, which is called as Freundlich, name of scientist, adsorption, related to adsorption, and isotherm. You know what we mean by isotherm. Iso means equal, therm means temperature, constant temperature. Iso means equal, bar means pressure. So this is isotherm. So in Freundlich adsorption isotherm, we have to remember that it gives relation between, see what relation it establishes? Relation between amount of gas adsorbed per unit mass of adsorbent. This is one quantity. You can take this as extent of adsorption. Amount of gas adsorbed per unit mass of adsorbent is nothing but extent of adsorption with pressure. How it changes with pressure? At constant temperature. That's what we mean by isotherm. At constant temperature. Isotherm we are using for constant temperature. Adsorption we are using because this is nothing but extent of adsorption. And Freundlich because name of scientist who has given this. Now he has given one simple relation. X by m equals to k p raised to 1 by n, where n is greater than 1. We'll see what we mean by n is greater than 1. So x by m is equals to k p raised to 1 by n. Now what we mean by x? X is the mass of gas adsorbed. M is the mass of adsorbent on which this adsorption takes place. P is the pressure. It is also called as equilibrium pressure. Pressure when adsorption completes. That is called as equilibrium pressure. K and N, they are constant. One of the limitation in this equation. We should have only one constant in the equation. Here we are getting two constants. K and N are constant. And depends on, their value depends on nature of adsorbate and adsorbent at given temperature. So X is the mass of gas adsorbed, M is the mass of adsorbent, solid adsorbent, K and N are constant, and P is the pressure. What is Friendly's adsorption? Mention the terms into it. Very frequently asked question. X by M equals to K P raised to 1 by M, and these are the various terms into it. Now we should see it graphically, how that representation is done. Experimentally, if we carry out experiment, observe the values and plot the graph between X and M on y-axis and pressure on the x-axis, we get this type of variations like this. X by M and P, as P increases, X by M is increasing like this. And at high pressure, it acquires saturation. Saturation means it is not increasing now. It becomes independent. One of the limitations of this isotope, which we will see when we complete this part. This is at 195 K. This is at 243 K. And this is at 273 K. As we increase the temperature, extent of adsorption is decreasing. We can easily see that. If we consider this temperature as T1, T2 and T3, we can say T1, T2 and T3. How they are related? T3 is greater than T2 greater than T1. If you draw here this type of vertical line, where pressure is constant, for this also same value of pressure, for this also same value of pressure, for this also same value of pressure, and we see their corresponding X by M values. We call this as X by M 3 because temperature is 3. This as X by M 2 because temperature is T2, and this as X by M 1 because temperature is T1. And if we write this here, X by M 1, X by M 2 and X by M 3, what relation we can see that X by M is increasing in this direction, X by M is greater than X by M 2, and X by M 2 is greater than X by M 3. So we can say X by M is inversely proportional to temperature, provided that pressure is constant. This is one of the important observation of this, that as pressure kept constant, temperature is increased, extent of adsorption decreases. First observation. Second observation, at high pressure, isotherms approaches saturation. Saturation means we are increasing pressure, but it is not increasing. The straight line parallel to the x-axis. So it means X by M is independent of pressure when pressure value is higher. So these two important conclusions we should draw from this graph. Now this X by M equals to K P raised to 1 by M. We can convert that equation sides. Log x by m log k plus 1 by n log p. It is just like log a raised to b into log a. We know that formula. We can rearrange this 1 by n log p plus log k, and this particular equation is a straight line equation. Y is equal to mx plus c. Two variables are there, log x by m, log p. 1 by n is slope and log k is intercept. So we can plot this graph here. Log of x by m log p. This will be straight line with positive slope and there will be intercept. So slope of this graph is equal to 1 by n. Now we can measure n now after graphical point. N is equal to 1 by slope. If they give value of slope and if they ask what is n equals to reciprocal of slope. And intercept, where we can intercept locate in the graph, this one is equal to log k. We can calculate k, one more constant. K equals to log has to be transferred to another side, and it is equal to anti-log of intercept. So what are the values of slope and what are the values of intercept when we plot the graph between log x by m on y axis and log p on the log x by m on y axis and log p on x axis? It should be very much clear to you. So these two graphs, two equations, two conclusions of this graph, and one more point which I will mention here. I love this graph now. In fact, we will make one small table here to understand this. 1 by n, x by m, and remark, if 1 by n equals to 0, if p raised to 0, equation becomes x by m is equal to constant. Here I have written x by m, so I will write here as constant. What it means? It means x by m is independent of pressure, isn't it? Because p raised to 0 is nothing but 1. X by m equals to k. K is constant. X by m is constant. And if 1 by n is equal to 1, x by m equals to, if this is equal to 1, x by m is directly proportional to pressure because k is constant. So you can say x by m is, where is this written, is directly proportional to pressure, and the values of 1 by n is 0 to 1. This again limitation of this adsorption, and most probable values are 0.1 to 0.5. This also you should understand here, and we should say that in last sentence that isotherm approaches saturation at high pressure, hence it fails at high pressure. Why it fails? Because it will not give exact understanding of how X bar varies with pressure at high pressure, because it approaches the saturation, it means it becomes independent. So it is only applicable to moderate range of pressure. Two limitations, two constants are there, K and N, and applicable only to the moderate pressure and fails to the high pressure. Two equations, two graphs, two conclusions from first graph, and values of intercept and slope and intercept from the second graph. Yes, this is the mathematical part of Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Many MCQs are being asked on these values. We will see at the end of this topic, 2-3 examples we will take. Even though numericals are not there in theory examination, they are converting questions numerical based to increase the difficulty level. So we should be very careful regarding what value slope and what value of intercept has in this particular equation. So this is Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Now we'll just convert this equation for solution. See what I will do now. For solutions, now what we mean by solutions, we'll take the example of acetic acid solution. Aqueous acetic acid solution. Every solution has solute and the solvent. Here solute is acetic acid and solvent is water. If we allow to be in contact with charcoal, we are providing the adsorbent to it. Solute adsorbent, how will come to know? We can measure the aqueous acetic acid solution concentration C1 before adsorption. Before adsorption is before making its contact with the charcoal, and C2 after adsorption concentration. What we observe here is that C2 and C1 when we compare, C2 is nothing but acetic acid concentration after adsorption is less than C1. Means some of the acetic acid molecules are adsorbing on the charcoal. So we can modify this, improvise this situation in this formula. X bar equals to K. Instead of P we can write C. C is nothing but the concentration. Mass of adsorbent, equilibrium concentration, K and N are constant. Same thing, only instead of P we have C. So this X bar, which is the extent of adsorption in case of solution, we say that increases with increasing pressure, it decreases with increasing temperature, depends on concentration of solute in solution, and depends on nature of adsorbent and adsorbent. So extent of adsorption in case of solution increases with increase in pressure, decreases with increase in temperature, depends on concentration of solute. Why only solute? Because it is the solute only which is getting adsorbed. If it is greater, concentration is greater, X by M is also greater, where is directly proportional. These are, and depends on the nature of adsorbate and the adsorbate. So this is for solution. Again we can convert this into this log of X by M equals to 1 by M log C plus log K equation. Y is equal to mx plus c. Intercept is log K. This is intercept and this is slope. So validity can be confirmed by plotting this. Slope value is equal to 1 by n and intercept value is equal to log K. So you can just change that pressure with this C and we have this adsorption isotherm for the solution. Not much changes are being done. How the mass of acetic acid adsorb is calculated? The concentration of acetic acid before adsorption, after adsorption is measured. Difference in concentration is nothing but mass of acetic acid adsorbed. We'll take one question to understand this afterwards, because this is again very important concept. So it is Friendly's adsorption isotherm for the solution. Not much has to be studied into this. Now one last part in the adsorption is the application of adsorptions. Applications. They are also being asked for 1 to 2 marks. There are some 8-9 applications mentioned in our textbook. So you should throw into that, then only this question can be asked. So can be answered. Applications of adsorption. Now to learn all these applications, I will make 3 columns where it is used, what are adsorbate and what are adsorbate, and you prepare sentences, and that is nothing but application. So used in should be my first column. I will write here, I will write you most of the space used here. Used in adsorbate, substance which get adsorbed, and adsorbate the surface on which adsorption takes place. So first it is used in, we can say production of high vacuum. Vacuum is nothing but very, very low pressure, absence of air. So in production of high vacuum, last traces of air, atmospheric gases, are adsorbed on charcoal. So how you will frame the sentence? Applications of adsorption, production of high vacuum in which last traces of air are adsorbed on the surface of charcoal, because this is an adsorbate and this is adsorbate. To prepare it in a simple way, I am making this table, otherwise in textbook or notes we are given in direct sentences. So this is first application. The next one is in gas masks, poisonous gases are adsorbed on surface of animal charcoal. Those workers who works in mines, we call them as miners, at very depth of earth crust. Some poisonous gases like sulfur dioxides are there. So gas masks are used so that these poisonous gases will adsorb on this, and air which comes through this mask is free from those poisonous gases. Just like we are using mask now, isn't it? It is very common thing nowadays. We are not imagining that we will use mask in such a large scale, but we are using always. What is the concept? Concept is that those droplets, aerosols, which contains that COVID-19 virus, adsorb, remains only on surface, and that aerosol will not come inside. It will not enter our nostrils and make colonies everywhere in nose, in lungs, and you know the big story, or you know all these things nowadays. This is very common, this information. But you have to verify which is correct and which is not correct, which you are, of course, I hope that you are doing that. But thing is that the masks are used to adsorb here in mining world talking about. They are used in mining to adsorb the poisonous gases on the surface of animal charcoal, so that air which comes through that mask will free from the poisonous gases. Then next one. Third one is in control of humidity. Humidity, water vapor's presence here. The water vapors are adsorbed on the surface of silica and alumina gel. This is the adsorbent used here. I hope you are understanding what we are doing here. Adsorption is used in control of humidity to adsorb water vapors on the surface of silica and alumina gel. This is one application of adsorption. Fourth one, I will write removing colored impurities. Like example of adsorption, we have seen the raw aqueous solution of sugar, which is yellow colored, and it becomes colorless. So adsorbent is colored impurities and pass through the columns of animal charcoal. So in removing, adsorption is used in removing color impurities, in which colored impurities are adsorbed on the surface of animal charcoal. One sentence, that is application. This is fourth one. Fifth one is in heterogeneous catalysis. Heterogeneous, two phases. Adsorbent is reactant gases and adsorbent is solid catalyst. There are many processes where it is used. For example, in the production of ammonia, iron catalyst is used where nitrogen and hydrogen are adsorbed. Then in sixth one, we can say in separation of inert gases, helium, neon, argon, krypton. When we get mixture of those gases, we can separate them based on temperature and based on their atomic mass. So in separation of inert gases are adsorbed at different temperature. On the surface of coconut charcoal, yes, coconut charcoal, carbon. Then seventh one is in case of froth flotation process. In metallurgy, you learn this. Sulfide ore. Ore means that compound from which metals are obtained is adsorbed on the surface of oil and impurities with water, and oil and water is separated. That's what happens in froth flotation process in metallurgy. You will learn that. It is said that metallurgy is removed from NCERT syllabus, even though we do not have any official communication from your department. It is there or not. If it is there, you will learn this. Otherwise, just you mention. Eighth one, we can say in curing diseases. Curing diseases. Yes, we know that diseases mean infection. This is AIDS. At AIDS, this, not at AIDS, it's disease. You know that. In curing diseases, the drugs are adsorbed, medicines are adsorbed on the surface of disease causing germs, and they kill them. Germs, and they kill them. The ninth application, right here, 10 on here. Ninth one is adsorption indicators, where some dyes, colored substance, adsorb on the surface of silver halide like AgCl, and the end point is detected by changing color. So in titration it is used. 10th I will write here because I want that everything should be before you. So I will learn this part. So 10th one is in chromatography analysis. It is based on the principle of adsorption. Chromatography analysis is based on the principle of adsorption, and it is used in, there are different adsorbent and different adsorbent depending on chromatography. So we will just mention one sentence here. Used in analytical and industrial fields. There is no specific adsorbent and adsorbent here. Chromatography analysis based on adsorption, used in analytical and industrial field. That is one application. So just I will read the sentences. Adsorption is used in production of vacuum, in which large traces of air are adsorbed on the surface of charcoal. Used in gas mask, poisonous gases are adsorbed on the surface of animal charcoal. Used in control of humidity, moisture or water vapors. We can call it as moisture also, because if you are not relating between this humidity and water vapor, it's moisture. Adsorb on the surface of silica and alumina. Removing colored impurities, in which colored impurities are adsorbed on the surface of animal charcoal. In heterogeneous catalysis, where reactive gases are adsorbed on solid catalyst. Separation of inert gases, where inert gases at different temperature adsorb on the surface of coconut charcoal. In froth flotation process, sulfide ore is adsorbed on the surface of oil. In curing disease, the various drugs means medicines are adsorbed on the surface of disease causing germs. And adsorption indicators, dyes are adsorbed on the surface of silver halide. So it is in this common word adsorbed on the surface of, and then this one last case of air, adsorb on the surface of charcoal, like that. So I hope it is not that much difficult to make the sentences. Only thing is that you have to remember all the 10 applications. It is very easy. Read again and again and try to understand and make it in this table so that you can make sentence anyway. It is not that much difficult making sentence. But we should know what process is. What is adsorbate? What is adsorbate? So on this small part of surface chemistry, adsorption, we have completed. Today we started with characteristics of chemical adsorption, difference between physical and chemical adsorption, Freundlich adsorption isotherm for gases on the surface of solid, for solution, and the applications of adsorption. So definitely 2 or 3 mark question can be asked on it, and you better prepare it in a proper manner, because this is such a lesson, even though you may not feel it very interesting part, but there is no other way. Whether you feel interesting or you feel boring, that doesn't matter, isn't it? That is the way life works. So you have to prepare it. I tried my best to make it simplify. I hope that you also tried. So thank you for watching this video. Keep studying.